Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Supercar News. I'm your host, Primo, and today we're going to be talking about if the Lamborghini V12 will actually ever go away. Talk to you in a second. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. I am your host, Primo, and I am not going to be in a rush today. I'm going to take this show very slowly. I'm going to just think about everything. I'm always in a rush on this stuff, and that's the problem. I need to think about what I'm doing, get the word out there, and let you guys know what's going on. So I am very excited about 2023. And what happened today was I got some news from Lamborghini and all these other things that I really wanted to share with you. And the one thing is I'm very excited to be back. It has been such a weird time since November that it just became difficult. We got sick in November. It ended up lasting me through December, and we started off this year. And I wanted to start off really strong. I didn't want to start off on this bad foot. And there's a lot of plans that we have in the works now, and we're going to go over in a second here too. That is, I really want to see, all that stuff really work out for us and work out for you and really power forward through what we have. So that's the thing is I have a lot of stuff that I have to get back to doing here. So I'm hoping you're going to bear with me if I do make mistakes. So what is 2023 for us looking for right now? And I am very excited. I don't know if you guys have seen our new shorts section. It is just incredible. We're doing this new did you know thing with different information about supercars and different cars of that nature. And it is really just blasted off and taken off. So I've been really, really excited about that. So yeah, if you don't have a chance to like and subscribe, remember, you can at any time go over and hit that bell icon. Remember, we're on a ton of different platforms, YouTube, Spotify, all those things. I know Spotify now is now doing kind of the video portion of it. So it's been really exciting to be part of this kind of cutting edge things. And you can see here, we did a little bit of updating to the studio. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, different new designs, different sound stuff that's going on. We wanted to make sure that everybody could really hear what was going on. We started off the year, if you can see behind me, the Secret Labs Lamborghini chair. That was just, this thing is amazing. And I'm really happy to have it put behind me. It's been everything and more. Funny enough, all the little mistakes that I've made when it comes to putting this thing together with the little tabs and everything, I didn't realize how much of this I had been with, bad chairs. But then I get with this thing and it's just through the roof. And it's like, wow, I just love it. So one thing I wanted to know, so we went over the shorts. I also wanted to share with you, we have an event coming up on May 20th. This is something we supported through the new thing that is coming out with DLX event. I don't know if guys know Aditya from the last show. He did Hopkinton Concourse. He decided to go big with this, and DLX has brought it out. And we had our friend Brad Singh say, he wants to do this event and get it out there. So this is our new thing. May 20th is going to be from 10 to 2. It's going to have a spectator section in it so people can check it out. If you get some time to come out to that area, or if you want to see some really cool show, the Enzo, unlike other car shows where they have an Enzo on the cover, this car will actually be there. And also we're going to have, I know Diablo is going to be there, Murcielago, something from Porsche. I don't know if it's going to be a 918 or if it's going to be a Carrera GT. I don't know. There's going to be something big, and it's definitely going to be in that mode. So now remember, as always, people ask, who sponsors you? Well, guess what? We sponsor ourselves. And the way we do that is we sell items in our item store. So if you have a chance to go over and check out the shirts that we have, and just head over to it's executiveautomotivesociety.com, and go to the shop section. And that right there is going to show you some of the cool things. We got some of this right here. I'll show you at this camera right over here. The Scuderia Ferrari black cologne. We might be doing, if we get enough people on that, we might be doing a little bit of a giveaway with it, which would be very exciting. And I would love to be giving away something like that to everybody. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely put something in the comments below. We'll put that out there, and we'll be happy to share it with you. So I also got a chance, because we obviously want to keep doing this stuff, right? We also got a chance to go over and check out some of the new Lucid products. We have a new area in Natick, and I got to sit in that. I have to say, it's a great car. I really enjoyed it, but it violated me as the seats were going in and they're doing their setting thing. They're going through it. This thing tried to jab me in the derriere, if you will, and I was kind of messed up by it. So I'm hoping that we can get somebody from Lucid to let us go in and actually film some of the cars to it. We put the word out. So if you work for Lucid, if you're friends with Lucid, any of that, and you have an opportunity to give us the word out and say, hey, we're looking to feature a car and test drive a car and see what it's like. If you own a Lucid and you want to check it out, Lucid Air, it's one of those cars that I really dig. I really like where Lucid is headed. It's one of those electric cars that I can really I feel like I can get behind it. So yeah, that's the thing is I want to get a little bit deeper into the product and see how it is. The electric brands are a little bit different. Like when we're doing stuff with, let's say, a Lamborghini brand, a Ferrari brand, or something like that, it's easy for me to get in touch with some of the people that, do that production, people who own companies, want to feature a product or something. When it comes to electric cars, they don't seem to run their own little genre. It's just kind of their pocket thing. So getting into doing something with them, it's a little bit more difficult. So any hope or help you guys can give me to back us up would be awesome. So what does 2023 look like for supercars? And the thing is I want to go back into this V12 thing here. And that is something that I keep seeing is these brands are still growing. The Lamborghini saw huge growth. The Technica, I don't know if you saw our launch video for the Technica. If you haven't, go over and check it out. That was the first car in the Northeast. Our friend took delivery of it. That car is just, I was skeptical of the car when I first heard about it, and having seen it in person, it keeps getting better and better. And that with the Sterrato, I've heard a little bit of criticism on the Sterrato, but if you think about it, the concept of a supercar made for off-road, and other companies now are jumping into it. So everybody's going to start having something that's going to be some off-road capability car. And I don't know. I just think that's exciting news. Like coming out of this kind of box of just making one kind of car has really exploded onto the scene, and it's huge. It's something that all of them can get behind. Well, why not have a SUV? Why not have a four-door? Ferrari just opened up their new Persang is their new vehicle, and I definitely want to check that one out down the road. We're definitely going to have another show with that, kind of featuring something with that. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but definitely want to get it. But Porsche, who has continued to excel at being that next level of, opening up the Caymans, the Cayennes, all these different Panamera, that they do that stuff. Their profits right now are soaring. So I think it's just proof that what we're seeing for 2023 is going to be another year of growth. It's the idea that I don't think that a lot of these companies done with their performance motors, not by a long shot. I don't think that any of these brands are done with, obviously they're going to be introducing some new stuff, but that's the thing is, as long as they continue to put this stuff out, they're going to continue to have that draw, and people are going to get more into it and more vested in it. Which brings me to my next thing, which I think is really good news. I don't know if you guys saw our stuff on Bizarrini, Giotti, the designing of a new car, which I was like, this thing is crazy. Like, look at this. It's something science fiction. I don't know if you guys know much about the history of that. Is that he was the designer of the 250G. He had a lot to do with 250G Ferrari GT. Also the Lambo V12 that literally lasted from 1963 to 2010. The idea that he says this car is definitely going to be some sort of V12 setup in it. It has that Italian styling to it that just makes every car great. I don't think we're going to know about it later this year. We don't know all the details to it. What I do know is I think that this car is going to be 100% all Italian. It's going to have the dual clutch setup on it. So it's going to be a car that's going to develop power. It's going to put it to the ground, and it's going to be amazing. And here's somebody who has this company. The heritage that we're seeing is definitely involved in those different areas and has been since the 50s, if you will. This is a track record of knowing what they're doing. These guys will pull it together. They're going to put the design in, and I think they're not going to take any prisoners when they bring it out. I really am hard pressed to say that this car could fail in any way, shape, or form. And it is, I mean, just look at it, and we'll show that picture again because that is just incredible. Look at that. The design to it is going to be sleek, obviously with concept pictures and everything. That's never exactly how they show off when they actually get produced. But I have a good idea that that's gonna be a lot of where it's headed in the future. So now we move back into what we've been talking about this whole entire time, which is going to be Lamborghini announcing the new car. And these are basically this is going to be the swan song for the V12. And I want to say kind of originally I had this thought process of, this is the Aventador kind of thing. This was this was where the Aventador was. Is it ever going to go? Is Aventador ever going to be gone kind of thing? And that's the thing is these are not just kind of like the Reventon, and the styling and the body shapes and everything like that will have distinct feels that were from other cars, but they're basically a one-off standalone car that will be basically their own thing. And that I think is very cool. And the styling of it really kind of shows what we're going to see for those next builds. So the new cars are going to be the Authentica and Invincible. So if you want to check out some more information of them, their Instagram page is at Lamborghini. They have a Facebook page. They have tons of stuff out there that you can get more details with it. But it is definitely going to be something that we're going to keep an eye on, because look at the interior styling of it. I love that there's that, I want to call it the T design. It's not the T design, but that's exactly what I feel of it is the triangle-esque look of, the three lines that go throughout it, and it's kind of permeated Lamborghini's brand for the last couple of years. It has a very carbon fiber feel to it. It has just been, it really shows the styling that goes with it. And I love there's the Invincible. So you get an idea. So the roadster version is the Authentica. The coupe is going to be the Invincible. Again, they are one-off cars. They're only made for this one thing, and this is going to be basically the last of the V12 before they move into basically the new version of the car, which is going to be a hybrid setup. I keep hearing that this is going to be a new V12. I don't see how this is going to be a new V12. I think that there's going to be some design styling that goes from one V12 to the next, but don't quote me on that, because obviously as things go along with the design, we're not privy to it. I think we'll see more and more of that leak. So really what they said was this is the peak of this is the peak design of what would be Lambo's DNA when it comes to the V12. It was styled by the Centro Style. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. STILE section of Lamborghini. And it does take a lot of inspiration from the SCV12, which I think is great, because we're seeing more and more of that race styling come to Lamborghini. And we've said this before. It's kind of, Lambo did not start off with that like kind of race feel. The Miura was kind of pushed onto Ferruccio when he made the company. And what's ended up happening is it's been a path that's kind of been fought and pushed back on. People don't really realize it. First time I think that this factory supported car, I mean, there was some stuff with the Diablo, but the Murcielago RGT was really the first car that really the company kind of put a stamp on and said, we're going to put some race division in here. And that kind of moved over to what became the Huracan setup. And that's been, I think, super successful. So the other thing about the cars is they're going to be 700 CV, and if you're wondering, CV stands for constant velocity, which equates to about 769 horsepower. It still has the 7-speed ISR gearbox, ISR independent shifting rod, which is it's a transmission that's had a little bit of criticism to it. I personally like it because even though that it is a manual transmission, it's basically electronically controlled. I like it. There are some quirks, if you will, to the transmission, but a lot of that stuff has been fixed. And I think that a lot of the criticism that people have is really just hang on stuff that just has lasted with them for way too long. So the thing that I need to say about this too, before we really jump into just kind of celebrating where, you know, this company has come for Lamborghini and where it's come with the V12, a lot of people are kind of seeing this V12 and saying, that's it. The V12s are dead. No more V12s. We're not going to have any of that anymore. No, the reality is that even though you see that hybrid setup, it's still going to be a V12. There's a lot of traction still left in the V12 tank. And that is not something that's just going to die off of in an afternoon. It's going to be something that, you know, people take and they're going to run with, like you said, with the Giotti, which the Bizarrini Giotti setup was going to bring out. We see the V12 there. We're going to see the V12 in the Lambo. There's other kind. Maybe Ferrari is completely done with that. I don't know. The 6.5 liter, just such a nice engine, you know. So, but there's a lot. The other thing that you have to consider is that there's a lot of work that goes into designing these cars, and that's a lot of work and money that you really want to get your bucks back before you jump into something new. So again, I don't know if there's the V12 that we see is going to be something that ends up being, I want to say, a completely new design. That's totally feasible. A new V12 to go with the new hybrid system. The new one's been out since 2010. So yeah, 10 years is kind of aged, but I just feel it very far-fetched to think that that car is going to do, it's just going to have this new whole setup, no new engine, all this other stuff. I just don't see it happening. I just see there's going to be, maybe it has a new designation because they're taking an old block and an old thing and an old head and putting it on a new thing and changing things around a bit. And there's going to be some way to kind of designate it differently. But the original V12 for Lambo lasted a very long time. The 6.5 liter for Ferrari, some people could even say is venerable, but it's still an amazing engine. They're both very powerful. There's other brands out there too that continue to step into this hybridization thing and can still bring that passion that everybody loves with that brand. So the thing is some people have said give up hope. I'm like, no, I'm not giving up hope. And the reason is because there's no reason to yet. The idea that we're still going to have supercars that roar, make noise. I mean, if some of these other brands are killing off some of their gas powered cars, hey, that's their deal. They can do that. Maybe I budgets are budgets, you know what I mean? But that's the thing is you got to have this competitive spirit in it that still brings out certain things that people are going to buy and certain things that they aren't, and you're going to have to do what the consumer wants regardless. So that's going to be up to them. So, but I think if we see something like a Terzo Millennia, I'm all for it. I think that's a great idea for Lambo. If we see a version of that for Ferrari, I don't know if Ferrari's done anything of that scale before. I know that the wordings on the Porsche Cayman style EV is really good news coming in. Where that'll go, we don't know, but I just know that the old Cayman is probably going to basically it's they've thrown everything at it they possibly can, which is great because we have that point, but that story will need to come to an end. So we'll see how, you know, that works out. So, but yeah, that's an exciting car, and I think that's a good way to kind of end with the V12 and just say, hey, that's the big dog going out. So, and before I leave tonight, the one thing I want to leave you with is I love some of the aftermarket styling out there. The Audi R8, as you know, was on its way out. It just finally, I don't know, it's just sad. I'm a big fan of the Audi R8. It's a great car. It's very well balanced. A lot of you guys like the V10. I like the V8 better, but yeah, I get it. The V10 has all the power and you guys like it, but there's just something classic about that body styling. And I was sent over, let's see if I can find the car here real quick. There, Kustom Kreations sent over this car, and this is, I think it's Javier from Import Evolution. This is going to be his car. and there's a new lip design. This is the render for what the car will be. But as of a render, wow, that just is incredible. And I think we have to think about the used car market here a little bit too, because remember that those old cars that still make the power, that still look good, they're still going to be out there. I love the aftermarket work just as much as I like the idea that there are things out there that work, that you can close in and say, hey, this works for us. Let's go back and get a pre-owned car. Let's embrace the new, and while we retain the old. But also taking these old cars, especially some of the stuff that I've seen, that like totaled cars. I've seen a lot of people rebuild these cars. And I think there should be a big market for that. Again, we've said this before. There are going to be brands out there that really want to take in this old stuff that people have never touched before and have really done something with it and grown these cars to a new level. And I think there is no bad news from that. There's nothing negative about that. That is something we could really see grow and say, here's a pre-owned area. You buy a pre-owned car, you put all this aftermarket work into it, or you say, I'm going to make a classic. I'm going to keep it. I'm silent, keep it all original. And that stuff, that cycle of life, if you will, is still going on. I really do want to go out at some point here and get some car that's been totaled or has some sort of, what's the word for it? Salvage title, and rebuild the car and bring it back. We did that back when, I think it was 2010 when I was at Bentley. We had that where somebody brought in a Bentley. I won't name names because he probably doesn't want me to name him, but brought in this car that was a salvage Bentley, brought it in, did all the work to it, rebuilt it to its former glory. And the car, I drove it. I drove it for like 4 or 5 days after the work was done. And it was just every car dream that I'd ever had. It was just so fun to drive. And I don't see the difference. It was amazing to say this car used to be totaled and now it's brand new. And so if you're not into tearing up a nice car to do some of the work like that, but you still have dreams that look this cool, and you want to do something like that, and you want to take those supercars and say, like, you bring that to the next level, which I think that definitely is, then you have that availability for it, and you have it because it's, hey, here's a salvage car. It's never going to go anywhere. Take those and rebuild them. I'd like to at some point get somebody on the show that we could really talk about and say, hey, how do we do this? How do, people want to have it done? Where do they go to have this work done so that they don't have to, I know it's scary for a lot of people. I know it was scary for me being involved in it to go, here's somebody else's car that we're redoing. But yeah, think about that. I mean, these brands, look at the stylized where it's definitely, we're moving into such a crazy era of just no apologies, full on power. And I think it really does come back to the point of, this is doing this because a lot of the people see these as swan song cars, and this car being a one off. I don't know, like the value of that. I mean, they're probably already sold in the millions. You rebuying a car like that would be incredible. I don't even know what the original MSRP. I don't even think they even listed it yet. So, but yeah, incredible. And we're going to keep our eye out for more of this stuff. Hopefully we can get some stuff new locally. And we got, again, like I said, this DLX show with Brad Singh coming up. The Support and Jumpstart, which is a great charity. Go over to our Facebook page. Check it out. If you ever wonder where the links are, executiveautomotivesociety.com. We have all our social media links over there. It's unfortunate that a lot of you guys are in the space where you can only hear the voice here. So don't forget the Spotify option, the YouTube option. We were hoping to do some stuff with Rumble. Rumble has not updated anything yet. So hopefully that'll come down the road and they'll pull everything over. We'll see where that goes. I'm not really holding my breath on it. But yeah, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I am completely indifferent. I am going to have a successful year this year. I am surrounded by some of the most successful companies in the world, and I've had the pleasure of celebrating some of their success, at least on their store level. And I would like to continue to do that, see that success happen And I think that this year really is gauging up to do that again. We're going to see 20, 21, 22 in the middle of some of the worst times ever. We were out here celebrating people not only becoming millionaires and being able to afford this stuff, but to bring this together and see our vision become whole has just been very rewarding. So keep your eye out. We're going to have some more stuff in the future. We're going to end the stream up about right now. And yeah, it's been a great show. Supercar news. I don't know. I'm going to try to do this as much as I can. When the news comes in, we're going to update it, get some news out. Maybe it's going to be shorter shows. Maybe it'll be longer. I don't know, but definitely something where we can continue to talk about it and get you guys in so we can check some of this stuff out. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you liked it. Put something in the comments below, share it out, let everybody know about it, and we'll talk to you soon. And as always, you guys have a great day and keep driving those cars, man. We love them. Talk to you soon.